Welcome, everybody, to the wonderful world of Pokemon. If you're on this podcast, you have reached the top, you have reached the peak, you have reached the pinnacle of Pokemon podcasting. That is Mount Silver.
Yeah.
The summit.
The summit. That was a cool freestyle for me, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know where I was going with it, and then I just went there. And
No, that worked out.
And then Pat with the lob. This is episode 5 of the Mount Silver podcast. If you have tuned in with us for the past 4 episodes at this point, thank you. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the Pokemon fans and the people who just want to relive this game.
I've had people hit me up and say that they've listened to this just to find out what the games were like after they stopped playing.
Yeah,
really?
A lot of people. A lot of people.
Oh my God. Okay. That's
I have plenty
reassuring.
of friends that just stopped after, being 17.
Yeah, I think there was a portion of people who stopped after Silver and Gold, and then there was definitely a lot more people who stopped after Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh yeah,
to be real with you, because then it just required an investment of a different system completely and all this other things.
Yeah, new system. Most people would rather pursue things traditional high schoolers and college students would be into rather than playing Pokemon as these games started to come out.
Right. And then, you had PS2, you had PS3, you had, Xbox, Xbox 2, Xbox One. It's like really so much became and so much evolved with other games that while Pokemon is still fantastic, it's just the entire world of various different games just evolved so much and became a lot more enticing and a lot more fun and a lot of things. You probably have a lot more memories of playing other games that weren't Pokemon, to be honest with you. But however, everyone who enjoys this podcast, thank you once again.
Seriously.
My name is Meals. I am here with the Pokemon TCG champion himself, Jeff.
Look, Pat. I won one tournament. Well, a small tournament recently, and I made the mistake of telling Mills. But no, it's not really a mistake.
This is amazing. We have a champion out here.
No, man. I love the trading card game still to this day. It's a bit of an expensive habit, so I unfortunately I can't invest like I would like to. But it's one of those things where, when you're a kid, you go. Look, my thing. I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but for me, the only reason I went grocery shopping with my mom and didn't stay home was because I knew I was going to get something if I went. Right. So I'd go to Walmart with her or wherever. Matter of fact, no, fuck Walmart. I'd go to, Target or whatever, where to go grocery shopping. And, I know I'm about to get a pack of cards because I'm just with her.
Yeah.
So for me, man, it was just like, I loved getting Pokemon cards. And of course, when I started making my own money, I was an adult. So it was different. Like I wasn't spending my money on like booster packs and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But you get to a point now where you're really an adult and you know how to save and move your money around. It's just a fun little hobby I still have here and there. So
it is a blast. We also have in the building, of course, Pafifi, Pat himself.
Gentlemen,
we are here to talk about so much in the world of Pokemon. And there's actually, I wouldn't say there's so much news, but there's definitely a couple of things that we should touch on before we get to the
definitely
Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, HeartGold, SoulSilver sort of games that kind of rocked my existence, because these are my favorite generation of games. Gen 4 is still by far my favorite generation, period. End of story. But we have more, as we do with seemingly every episode that we drop, more Pokemon Sword and Shield news. 2 new Pokemon that have been revealed.
Yeah.
Pat, have you seen it?
I have. I'm pulling up the pictures now because it was like, when I didn't.
It was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It was at the Nintendo Direct. Nintendo Direct, which I just whiffed on the time of when that was airing, because I thought it was 3 p.m., but apparently it's 3 p.m. Pat's time.
Yeah.
And 6 p.m. my time. Yeah. So I did not get even home, but nonetheless,
just not convenient at all for anyone.
Yeah, no, dinner time reveals. I'm good. But we got 2 new Pokemon. They are called, I'm trying to look them up right now.
Is it Poltergeist?
Poltergeist. Poltergeist. He's T. It's T.
Poltegeist.
Yeah.
Poltegeist.
Those type a black tea Pokemon.
And
I love it.
How do you feel about it? Just in general, I like it. I like the design of it. I like the flexibility that it may, jump into other, T sets or things, or
Yeah,
it might
it
become
has a lot of potential. I don't know if it's going to evolve. I'm sure I'm going to say that it does probably.
probably.
It does carry the ability weak armor. If it evolves, I'm sure Mills is going to get his request as it goes into like a bigger, maybe a set, like a
Yeah.
set, like that would be sweet.
Just a full set, yeah. Why not?
Apparently you can drink it. That's a whole nother thing in itself, but they're going with this whole cooking thing and with this game. So I understand it fits the region 100%.
Pat, what did you think of these new Pokemon?
Well, I do like that Poltegeist at least definitely does fit in the region. The bird is kind of goofy looking. Like, I don't know if they needed another goofy bird, but
the bird is fine. Definitely goofy.
It is a pelican.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pelican with a fish in its mouth.
Correct. The fish in its mouth is only it's a form change actually.
It's only triggered if you use surf
or dive.
Which why would you ever?
I know, but I don't know. Maybe they're going to change a power of one of the two. I mean, surf isn't a terrible move, but dive I'm not gonna really use.
It's the most reliable non-hydro pump move. Of all time.
Also, it may be worth it depending on how much Gulp Missile is, like how much damage it does. Is it a consistent damage? Does it vary between special attack, critical, or is it just a straight shot damage? If it does a consistent amount of damage, no matter what, it may be worth it, at least from a competitive standpoint. But this thing has a bib too. I don't know if you guys know this.
No,
it's a bib. Oh, I just thought it was feathers.
Yeah, it's got a bib.
Huh. Look at that.
Also, I wonder if that Pokemon that it eats is that a new water Pokemon? I wonder if what is the fish? Is the fish a Pokemon itself or what?
Because you can't just have regular fish in this game.
Right. So I'm thinking maybe because they have a still shot of the fish like shooting out, and you can kind of see it's like a brownish tan with orange gills. Like it has Pokemon features. Like it looks like a Pokemon.
Right.
So is it just attached to conglomerate, or is it its own thing? So that's kind of cool too.
Let's see.
It looks like something that's not going to evolve, though. By the way, I did want to say that.
No, I think yeah.
I don't think anything that's going to evolve.
Especially if it's got these forms and stuff. Like,
exactly.
They're probably going to eschew an evolution for that.
Forms is a new hotness. It's no longer new evolutions, which is something. It's crazy because we're going to talk about the new evolutions in this generation as we talk about Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. But forms is a new hotness in this game. New evolutions. Very scarce.
I'm getting really, really excited for this game. Mills texted me the other day. He's like, "Man, I just need this shit to come out."
I just need it to come out. To be honest with you,
I went and pre-ordered the double pack.
Of course, I would expect nothing less from you.
I cannot wait till November 15th. Dude. Like, I just can't wait.
Also revealed in this trailer, Pokemon camping.
Yeah.
You can camp with your Pokemon.
They love camping now, man. Nintendo just loves camping. Like between this and the stuff that was in
Animal Crossing,
the Wild,
Animal Crossing,
and Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I feel like this is all just to push Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I don't need Animal Crossing pushed on me. I'm gonna be there day one.
Yeah, I'm copping that. I'll be pre-downloaded midnight.
I feel like there's definitely some sort of meeting with Nintendo and the various creators of different games. It's like we're really trying to push this camping thing and this customizable clothes thing. Yeah. So with every game, we're going to need some sort whatever it is, Mario Party camping,
it's going to happen.
Pokemon camping, all these other things. We're going to need you to incorporate Crash Bandicoot, whatever, Banjo and Kazooie, however we do it.
Camping with Kazooie.
Whoa, chill out, Pat. We might want to cut that out, man. That's good money right there. Camping with Kazooie? That's a great.
That's true. Game. That's true.
Oh my god! So they definitely. How do you feel in general about these like side things they try to incorporate in games?
So here's my thing. I will definitely pull up to y'all's camp.
Of course.
And have my.
It may be empty, to be honest with you.
Right, right. And have my Pokemon play with your Pokemon. I don't know what other type of incentives they'll have doing this. I don't know if it's like a fun thing. See, to me, I don't mind the silly side shit as long as it has some type of incentive, or if I can get something for doing it, I'll try it. You know, like I'm not opposed to it. Um, I think it's just stuff to fill up the game, you know. But like I said, there has to be depth, or it'd be something like the bases, back in the day. It's like, yo, that's a cool idea, but I'm not really using it for anything. So if I can go there and like heal up my Pokemon or start a base without going to a Pokemon Center or something like that, or I don't know, like what if you could get what if you after a certain point in the game you get all badges, you can heal your Pokemon like at your camp, or I don't know, just shit like that maybe. But the cooking thing is kind of cool. The rice and curry shit.
I'll say this. I feel like for gamers like us who's been through this game for many, many years, almost more than 2 decades at this point.
Yeah.
We appreciate, listen, just give me the straight shot, straight through game.
I know.
But if you have to force me at some point in this game to take pictures, to pet my Pokemon, to invite, to make poffins, to make Pokeblocks, to make all these different things. If you have to force me to do this in this game, I immediately get turned off. So
yeah, but you know, it's something of that nature is going to be in there
easily.
It's just what it is. You know, it's one of those things that it's hard to stop. Even when you look at it, you're like, man, I don't want to have to evolve this Pokemon through happiness or whatever the case may be. But it's just like,
right.
You know, I mean, you see him playing with the little feather toy with the, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
there's some that I'm like, okay, like if there's a specific Pokemon that evolves through happiness or whatever, I'm like, okay, like there's one or two guys, like I'm into it. But like,
you're like, okay, I'll cook some curry for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I don't want to have to do it that. I don't want the requirement to be that aggressive.
Well,
Yeah,
the curry also, you can put different type of berries and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to make it like, hey, you got to do this, so because it's a competitive standpoint, or it can be just something from stats or whatever. I don't know, but
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know if I'm alone on this one, especially with the thing berries. Berries, I don't care about. Like I've never let my Pokemon really hold berries, nor have I sort of like, okay, because I always felt like in the old games I would get them and then I would have so much, and they'd be great for certain, like if they cure confusion, I'm in on it. Like because the NPC loves to confuse the shit out of you. They love to use swagger and then fuck your shit up. But
I have a love and hate relationship with like held items because I don't care for them in my regular playthroughs at all. I used to use like Quick Claw and shit like that a lot, but like when it comes to like, again, like I bring up the playing competitive thing a lot because that's the only time I use them.
Of course,
for stuff like that, citrus berries, and you know how it goes. Playing competitive.
Yeah, if it'll give you the edge, of course.
Walkthroughs for the game, man. I rarely use that stuff. I do.
I agree.
I used to, like, I'll randomly look up something if I'm like, okay, I've been in this zone for an hour and I do not know where to go.
Yeah.
Or if I put the game down for like a week and I need something that's like, okay, I just need to know where to go for the next 2 minutes.
Right.
But they're kind of like pointless now. I mean, even by the time this came out, you didn't really need one. Yeah. Like I need a walkthrough for I need like a Pokedex basically more than a walkthrough. Like I need to know when stuff learns moves and where to find the stuff.
And that's one of the issues with the game that we talked about. The games aren't hard enough. So it's like they're giving us these things to kind of help us throughout the game. But it's like, hey, I really don't need that much help with this. Like you know what I mean? Like you're gonna give me a berry that brings my attack back up after I get a certain point, but then the berry disappears, and I got to get another one at some point later on or whatever. Like that's fine, but like the game is not difficult enough for me to use these things to get me through it. I can go without it.
I'm sorry, there's almost never any situation when I'm going to like use a berry to heal 20 HP over like a permanently held.
Exactly.
It's
such a major issue. That's such a major issue. Don't like, there's not, give me a berry that gives me 80 or 100 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Like something that it has never seemed worth it. Like, and that's kind of an issue that they have with a lot of aspects of the game to me that they add. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I'm not going to sacrifice that for what I'm already
Yeah.
doing or what seems
Right.
way more advantageous.
Right. Go get you a super potion or whatever. Call it a day.
Speaking of games with not a lot of incentive to play, nor a lot of things to play, they just released Pokemon Masters on mobile.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with this game. If you're with sort of mobile games, Pokemon Masters is that new where they had that very cool trailer for it, where you had all the old, champions and gym leaders and Elite Four and all these other people in 3-on-3 battles going up against each other. It is a mobile game. It is a strictly battling game. I have played it on my phone.
Mills.
I'm actually kind of very far in this game.
I was about to say, I'm a little addicted to this game. I'm not going to lie to you.
Here's the thing with you. I like playing the game, but I feel like I don't like the game. That
is the issue.
I'm about to download this now.
I'm playing the game, and I feel like you might like it. It's legitimately just battling. There are a few aspects of it that are like, okay, this is a lot. Like, why do I need to trade this for this, that for that, this for that, up for down, all the left? But why can't this evolve, but this can evolve, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm pretty far in the game. It's a very and I think the thing that draws me into the game is because it requires like a level of strategy. Somewhat.
It does. Somewhat. You do have to have some strategy.
You gotta like hit certain moves at certain times to be able to really get stuff out. But other than that, like the journey of the game, it's cool, but not very interesting to me. I like the aspect of all the DLC stuff. I think that's very, very cool. I like the aspect of the battling and certain moves and what you need and be able to come across these certain things. I think that's very cool. But otherwise than that, I'm not sure I fully like this game. I just play it a lot. I don't know. It's weird. I like it, but then I don't like it.
I like the game, man. I like the game.
I mean, if it's not a phone, you don't have to love it.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's cool, but like, I don't know. I really do. I'm very far in the game. I'm like, some of my Pokemon are like level 50.
That's far.
Level high, level 40.
You're working, man. You're working.
So I'm just, I had to learn the game. Yeah, I essentially had to watch YouTubers to figure out kind of like, okay, this is how this gameplay goes. But it is an interesting game. I recommend it. It's also except if you're tight for space on your phone, you might encounter a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I was looking at this downloading time, and it is slow.
My phone got hot, dude.
My phone got hot the first time I played it. I think it's cooled off since then, but it got hot. It requires an enormous amount of space to use this game. Yes, it did. And then it'll also ask for another 10 megabytes after it. And I'm like, yo, you're asking for wait. I know eventually I'm going to
I got the space, but like
I know eventually I'm going to delete this game. I just know it. But for right now, as I'm leading into Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'm very, very excited. I love it. There's always Pokemon Go as well, which is just old faithful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was why that transition, man. I mean, I know you play a lot of Pokemon Go, and I play a good amount. I don't think I play as much as Mills does, but
no one plays Pokemon as much Go. As me. If you've seen how much Rayquazas I attempt to get and do not get a shot.
Yeah, like I love Pokemon Go. I really do. I use that app probably besides like Twitter and all the other shit more than anything. But Pokemon Masters is just a different speed, and it has like you said, has a little bit of strategy in it. It's cool. Yeah. Will I keep playing it? Probably not. But Sword and Shield will be out, and it won't matter.
I play legitimately. I like fit in an hour a day, maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour a day. And I'll be like, okay, let's sit with this game. The only thing I don't like is that you can't really see your clock.
I know.
So I lose track of time. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's like 11:30. What the fuck am I doing?
Right.
So
that's what they want.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what they want. And the good thing about this game is you don't really have to actually spend money to play this game. It's an incentive to spend money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you can spend money, but you don't have to.
You can spend money, but you don't have to play this game. You really don't. Everything is available within the game. Unlike Pokemon Go, which is like,
oh god, I spend $20 a week on Pokemon Go.
You don't have to spend money, but
it's in my budget now.
It's in my budget as well.
Yeah, literally, like if you open my Excel sheet, like there is a space for Pokemon Go.
But that is cool. New anime series. We just talked about anime on the Lookout this week. You can check out this episode of the Lookout. It is the last of the Summer at Kame House series. It features all three of us, Mills, Pat, Jeff. As we talked about episode 1 of Pokemon. New anime series expected to debut sometime later this month. And the only reason we're talking about this, and the only reason I'm talking about this, because I'm sure none of us, I keep up with the anime when something interesting happens. No one else keeps up with the anime.
It's been years and years.
I've come to terms with that, and I've accepted that, and I'm 100% fine with that. There is not a lot to cover with the anime. The only interesting tidbit is that supposedly this new anime will feature all the regions,
which is sick.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It will. So along with the Sword and Shield stuff, I'm assuming they're maybe going. I don't know if this will be a side thing, or Sword and Shield is just not getting anime anymore, and they're deciding like, fuck it, let's
just go broad.
Yeah, let's just go broad. But the fact that it features all generations is just, it's fantastic. It's everything that I've wanted. So that is it for that. We'll have more news on September 29th. But yeah, I mean, that's an interesting tidbit. If you're really interested in all at anime and maybe like following a new one in Pokemon animes haven't been fun to follow for probably like 15 years. Yeah. But this is interesting news. I call this the Pokemeter, the Pokemeter. In terms of the Pokemeter. Here we are. Sword and Shield, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about Sword and Shield? To be honest, just be honest. From the news that we've gotten thus far, how excited are you for the game? I'll start with you, Jeff.
I'm at an 8 currently. Yeah, I'm just ready to play. I really haven't got to do anything. I played Pokemon Let's Go Eevee for a good period of time. I think I gave it like 60 hours or so, 70 hours. After I completed it, did a lot of shiny hunting because that's really all there is. Nothing competitive to it. Caught everything. I want to get back to hatching my eggs and really playing. So I'm pretty excited about it for the most part. There's been some things I've been disappointed as far as designs and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, the game looks pretty good. I'm so glad that we didn't really touch on it when we were talking about Sword and Shield, but the customization looks really good, finally, and way more in depth. Hair, clothes, earrings, jewelry, shoes, skirts, whatever you're into. Like that's what I'm excited about. That to me, being a Pokemon trainer, it's like you got to give me some customization. You got to give me real. I don't want to look like when I go face Mills online. I don't want us to have similar stuff just because the options aren't there.
Everything's just the Spider-Man pointing meme.
Like I want us to all look different to an extent, so it just looks cool. Like it looks better that way. And so I'm probably about an 8. Probably when we see those evolutions for the starters, I'll be ready 100%.
Pat, how excited are you? Scale of 1 to 10.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real. I gotta say like 6.
I feel you.
Like I mean, and that's not like it's not like an angry 6. I'm like, there's like, I could easily have been at like an 8 or a 9, but it's just like, it's kind of like we've talked about, like the Pokemon being giant and that type of shit. Like, it just feels a little bit like it's a little over gimmicky. I would just like a simpler, harder game. But like, I've talked about this before. Like we know how I feel about this situation now, but I'm not like anti this game or anything. I'm excited to play it, and especially excited to talk about it on here. So
I would say I'm pretty much at a healthy, I would say 7, which is between both of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm at a 7, and I would say that because I've seen a lot of things that I like. I like the design. I like the world. I like being able to walk through all this cool shit. I'm mostly, of course, if you know me, I'm excited about the story. I need the story. I need that chairman to be an evil chairman who gets locked up at the end of the game. I need so many different things from this game. I just need the story to follow suit. all the extracurricular things.
See, we all have things that we're like really, we're really.
I would say,
for specific places.
I would say I'm at a 7 because I feel like the stuff that they've revealed recently have just been kind of like, okay, we're biding our time because it's like
totally.
We're revealing 2 Pokemon at a time, and then we're also revealing like, oh, here's some new shoes. Oh, here's a new cap.
Right.
Like, and I'm just like, get me the stuff that matters. I need a full-length trailer. I need a different trailer. This is
normal, though, for them.
This is normal. Yeah, I mean, they start out from, like, May or something, and they have to keep people invested all the way up till November. So you're going to get those months where it's just like, meh. You're going to get a fucking... A pelican with a fish in its mouth. And, like... and things like that. Like, but... I'm interested in the story. I'm interested in sort of investing in it. I'm again, the Pokédex doesn't matter to me. We're going to play with the amount that we have, and I'm sure there's going to be another game with the remaining Pokemon, so it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I would say I'm at a 7. I'm at a 7.
I'm just ready for it to be out.
Like I said, it sounds like we all have, like, there's just different things. Like, Mills, you want that story. I want the competitiveness. Pat, you just want the game to be more difficult and less gimmicky, right? Or more difficult and less gimmicky. We all have things that we're yearning for this game, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how it goes.
And it's because I haven't played a full game since, when did Omega Ruby Sapphire come out? 2005? 2015? 16?
I think it was 6.
I think it was,
like I said,
it was 16.
Let's Go, and it's like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee was cool, man. But it, like I said, there's nothing to it. I mean, it's just
Omega Ruby Sapphire. That was a cool game that got me. Omega Ruby Sapphire released in 2014. Wow. Wow. Is it? No, it can't be 2014. Let me take a look at it. Yes, 2014. Wow,
that's insane.
So it's essentially been 5 years since I played a full-length game.
Sorry, guys, I have no idea what that is. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. That was a
car commercial.
I felt the adrenaline rushing through my body a little bit.
I had Bulbapedia up and a pop-up for a car commercial.
No, it will do that.
I can't even usually get Bulbapedia to load, and now I'm getting pop-ups. What the fuck?
Oh, same. I'm having issues right now. We're all having issues.
Everybody.
It's because this is the most people who gets on it at once. 3.
Oh wait, no. Sun and Moon was 2016. Okay, so I completely forgot. Omega Ruby was before Sun and Moon. So I haven't played a full length game in like 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm itching to play a new game. And that's what I'm ready for.
I actually played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon a little bit.
Oh wait, yeah, there was an Ultra Sun. All right, so that was 2017. Okay, maybe I'm just itching for a game. I completely forgot like what
it's hard to keep track of all of these.
It's hard to keep track of the year.
That was 2017, right?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes. That's what I'm gonna say. We definitely played.
I beat all those games. I just wasn't.
We beat all the games.
You and I played. We were texting about it and whatever during that time, but like they weren't like exciting.
No, not particularly exciting.
Just kind of just did.
2017. So yes, I haven't played a game in 2 years apparently. I'm itching for a game. Fuck that. I don't care how long I haven't played. I'm itching for a new game. I'm interested for it.
Nonetheless, especially considering the new generation.
Especially considering how disappointing Sun and Moon was, which we're gonna get to that. Right. So it feels like I haven't played in 5 years. That's all I'll say.
No, I feel you, bro. We want a new generation, new Pokemon game. It's a new gen. So
speaking of gens, let us get back into history. Let us roll back to Generation 4 of this series. Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. The Gen 4 series of games, easily my favorite set of series of games. My favorite generation just in general. Everything sort of moving forward. The game was initially announced in 2004. Wouldn't come out until 2006 in Japan, and then eventually April 22nd, 2007, it landed in America, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. It was the first Pokemon main game to be released on the Nintendo DS. What are our thoughts on the DS? It's almost the 15th anniversary of the DS.
I loved my DS.
Yeah, I love stealing my sister's DS to play this game.
I love DS.
It took SP to another level.
It did. It was kind of
like
bulky and silver and was shaped a little weird.
That thing was huge.
Yeah, it was a little strange, but the touchscreen on the bottom was kind of cool at the time. And then of course, the 3DS is what that is. I still have mine, but
oh yeah,
the DS, man, it had its purpose, man.
Some of those GBA games looked amazing on the DS.
Did you have Mario 64 on DS?
Yeah.
It looked really like it was dope. Like it was like the first time I had Mario 64 like in my hand at all times wherever I wanted to go.
And I didn't expect it to even be like a playable port.
Right.
This game, I still continued. I was on emulator ROM City. I was enjoying my life. I didn't get a DS because I knew I wouldn't get one. I probably didn't. I don't know if I eventually got a DS. I forgot. Was Black and White was on DS, right? Yeah, it was.
It was. Yeah, it was.
So I eventually did get a DS. I think eventually I bought a refurbished one, and I eventually got a DS. But for this series of games, I was emulator in ROM City. I'm just like, I'm living my life, having fun.
So this is your favorite generation?
Yes, this is easily my favorite generation.
This is Frostlass.
It's we're gonna get into all the
I love this generation. So I was like it for me.
Diamond and Pearl became the fastest selling Pokemon game as it sold 1 million in 5 days. Well, it was until Pokemon Platinum came out, which sold 1 million in 3 days.
These things are like Drake albums, like they just like break their own records.
It's
every time. It's like total, will break whatever records that they have.
In total, Diamond and Pearl has sold 17.6 million units since release, and Platinum has sold 7.6 million as of December 2014. To me, in terms of the games, Pokemon Platinum, by far the superior version of all these games.
It's the most complete game.
Yeah, Platinum is fantastic.
Yeah. I gotta buy Platinum. I gotta go buy Pokemon Platinum.
Yeah, you should. It's honestly, I went through the walkthrough to prepare for this for Diamond and Pearl, just to remember what Diamond and Pearl is, because Platinum is it's not too much of a different game, but it is somewhat of a different game in terms of just like the characters that are introduced, the things you have to do, the post game that is much better than the Diamond and Pearl post game, and all these other things. It ends up evolving and ends up being a much more fully thought out, fully fleshed out game as opposed to Diamond and Pearl.
It's almost like they added a full DLC package to it.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. It just feels complete. It feels complete. A lot of Pokemon games at the end, they don't really feel complete. Like you had a good time, but the post story is kind of dead. I'm not talking about Black and White, but Platinum just had it had everything.
You can go back to fight old gym leaders. You can go back in. There's a much better battle tower, I guess. I mean, I was never really truly a fan.
It's a little better, yeah.
Yeah, I was never really truly a fan of like battle towers and or battle frontiers and all this other stuff. But there's a lot of good stuff in this game. There's a lot of major differences to the areas, what your access to. Professor Oak shows up in the game. That's always fun. I would say this game came out in the Wi-Fi era of the game. Like Wi-Fi just became a thing.
Yeah, like a thing that like was regular.
Yeah, and it was like, instead of using
available on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, instead of using link cables, let's just trade Pokemon like over the internet. Isn't that a nice thing?
I will say their Wi-Fi stuff still, like when I do something online on the Switch and it successfully connects to my Wi-Fi, I'm like, all right, I can't believe it, but okay. Like I just have no faith in Nintendo that this shit will work.
No, it's too much of a process because I feel like the interface doesn't look as seamless as everything, so it's kind of
1000%. The interface sucks.
you're like going through like settings and then like Wi-Fi and then you're searching and then you kind of gotta like scroll through and then it's like, is this a WPA2 or this is WPK or like something? I was just like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to eat a club sandwich. Just let me log in.
Let me just log into McDonald's or like Starbucks or anything like a normal phone would. And let me handle that. But as opposed to like, you really got to go through this and go through all the like legitimate channels of like, and part of it's also it doesn't have a keyboard, so it's like you have to type in like with your stylus.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing is nightmarish.
Yeah, it is what it is. But the Wi-Fi capabilities, that was a big part of this game. I don't know. I feel like I'm about to be abducted by aliens. Hold on. I don't know what that was outside.
That was a strange siren.
I don't know what siren that was. That was very Power Rangers-esque.
Other government agency.
Let's see. But let's talk about, you know what? The thing we can't skip over and the thing we have to talk about first in Gen 4, because it's what I think it's most beloved for, are for the actual Pokemon themselves. How do you feel like the Pokemon of this generation sort of hold up?
Probably better than anything that has come out since.
Yeah. This is the best generation from a Pokédex standpoint.
I agree. I'll even say, to be honest with you, it's the best. Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, this is the best, just to me, in period. Like, I know Gen 1, it has all the Pokemon that we love and we got to know and we got to Poke Rap and all this other things like that. But Gen 4, for some reason, is just, they just managed to get it right with kind of everything, designs of it, the abilities, everything, even the Pokemon themselves. I mean, let's talk about the starters. Piplup, Chimchar, Turtwig, great starters.
Great starters.
They're great. I would say the starters themselves, the first forms, are better than some of the, like, this is where it's like Infernape is basically Blaziken. I don't think that sucks.
Yeah.
That's like, I know we complain about that all the time, but yeah. Just like fire and fighting. Like they should not have identical typing outside of fire, water, and
get ready. It's gonna happen again too.
I know.
It looks like it's gonna happen again. I mean, I'm not sure, but this bunny, the Score Bunny, is like a soccer player, but it has like low kick. People have seen like low kick in some of the movesets, like just through the trailer. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a fighting type, but whatever.
Turtwig, first of all, I love the evolutionary lines for all of them. I just do.
Yes.
It's just, especially, but probably my favorite looking is Torterra. I think that looks just amazing. I wish it wasn't double weak to ice, or else I would use it more. Mm-hmm. But I love the starters.
The clear winner, I think.
Yeah, I love the starters for this one. Infernape, also good. Empoleon, also good.
I picked Piplup in this one, so
I think I did. In terms of, if you're asking what I picked, I probably picked the Fire Monkey, but Piplup also. No, I might have picked Piplup, to be honest with you.
Piplup for sure.
I think
it was just too cute. Yeah, it was too cute, man.
These are just great starters in general. Like,
they did a really good job.
Like, they're not
even if you keep going, like the Starly, Staravius, Staraptor, that's the best Pidgeotto family, like not non-Pidgeotto one of all.
That's the best bird, dude. Look, I don't care what anybody says to you. Okay, Mills, we talked about this when it came out on Go. It's the best bird, bro.
Staraptor with Aerial Ace is amazing.
Listen, now there is exception because Talonflame is technically like OP, like it's just too good because of Brave Bird and its ability. But outside Talonflame, this is it, man.
The Staraptor, to me, when I caught it, I was like, okay. But then when you get it and it gets like close combat, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Close combat?
Yeah,
so cool.
Like, whoa.
I was like, what? What? Hold, turn up. All right. And it looks kind of cool. Little cow lick in the front and all the other shit like that. I was like, all right, turn up. We got some other things in here. Luxray is just one of my favorite Pokemon ever.
Yeah.
In terms of its design. It's one of the best. Let's talk about the evolutions, because the evolutions is kind of what they brought it back for Gen 4. They had it in Gen 2, and they had us there, and they were like, okay. And then we missed that on Gen 3, and that's why maybe Gen 3 we're like, all right. Well, Gen 4 brings it back. It says, listen, you're getting all the evolutions. You're getting the evolution for Gligar.
Yes. Gliscor, which is one of my favorite Pokemon.
Easily.
So cool.
Is there any of these evolutions you're particularly fond of?
Frostlass is my favorite Pokemon. Period. Just period. Ice Ghost, Destiny Bond. I mean, Snow Cloak ability.
When I was playing competitive, a lot of people use Frostlass. I think it was their first one.
Frostlass is just, first of all, it's one of my favorite designs. I've kind of yearned for a Mega at some point. I was hoping it got that love, and the evolution was unique. It had ability, Cursed Body, Snow Cloak. Visually, I love it. I have the little Mills. You've seen my little.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, the little thing that hangs from my mirror. But yeah, no. Mamoswine. It was.
Well, this
great.
Was Leafeon and Glaceon were in this one.
It was. It
was. It felt a little like fan service almost, but like at that point they just had to keep adding types.
Yeah, it had to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
They Leafeon specifically, I guess. Even the name was like, okay, this is literally the Pokemon everyone has been drawing since 2000.
But wait, Mills, how you feel about Magmortar, man?
Magmortar is one of my favorite designs for no particular. I hate that. I mean, if it was in Pokemon Go, it was better. I would use it all the time. Mm-hmm. Even if this was better in this game, because there's a few things that like slow it down from being actually like really, really good.
You know what the mistake was? Okay,
what?
Let me tell you something about Magmortar and Magmar in general. They made a mistake not making this thing Fire Psychic. It can do Psychic. It can use Psychic. Magmar can use Psychic.
It's got a very large head.
It should have been Fire Psychic. It should have been Fire Psychic. Period.
This game, it has cannons for arms. I'm fucking in love with it. It is huge. It is great. It has all the moves that I want. Its defense is terrible. Its speed is not good.
But it's a powerhouse, though.
But it's still a powerhouse. It's between me. I'm the Magmortar guy. Actually, for our birthdays a long time ago, I think I got, or was it Carlos? Either one. I got myself, because Carlos loves Electivire and I love Magmortar, and they're kind of like one and the same kind of like type of deal. So we both got each other a little toy thing. So that's fire. I love Magmortar. Togekiss. Togekiss. I love.
I can't believe how many of these are from this generation.
Yeah,
they did so good, man.
Dusknoir is cool, even though it sucks. But Dusknoir is cool.
These guys are really wrong.
Yeah, Weavile. I love Weavile.
Weavile's so good, man.
I use it in every game. I still use it to this day. I will use it in this game if it's in the game. I will use it all the time. It's fast. It hits hard. It's ice. It's dark. You got options. You got speed. You got attack. Like there's nothing. And then there's the rest. There's the Lickies, which is,
whatever.
It is. Rhyperior looks cool. I would say it looks very, very cool. It's very, very susceptible to being razor leaf to death, but it is very, very cool. Then you have Tangrowth, which is actually a nice bulky grass type. Like not fast, but just will take a hit.
Yeah.
Gallade wasn't really fond of because they kind of messed it up, to be honest with you. Probopass, if it has, was it air balloon, hot air balloon? What balloon?
You talking about the ability?
No.
If you give it the air balloon?
Yeah. If you give it the air balloon, it's fine.
It's okay. But other than that, it's a wrap for him.
But yeah, the evolutions for this game, sort of the evolutions was the thing that I think people were sort of looking forward to and looking forward to bringing back. And even still to this day, I mean, we get these new Pokemon games. I don't think we care much more for the new forms. We expect to see that the Pokemon that we got in the past and the generations they were involved in kind of reach new levels and kind of explore in a different way. I'm always still confused by the fact like, hey, why did they discover evolutions in this generation but they never existed in previous generations?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of tried to address that with the region specific forms, but a lot of times that stuff is still better than like, giant Pokemon or mega evolutions or whatever.
100%. Like Put so much Pokemon in this game. We have a shit ton of legendaries and mythical Pokemon. They were all called legendaries still in this generation. The term mythical Pokemon didn't come until Gen 5. I didn't know until like Pokemon Go. I was like, oh, that's a mythical. Okay, all right, I understand. Legendary Pokemon. You have the Lake Trio, Mesprit, Uxie, Azelf.
Don't love these guys.
They're not my favorite. They're just like hey, these are like different looking Mews.
Yeah, 100%.
Here you go. They live on a lake.
I would say the best thing about it is I like how they're incorporated into the region itself.
Yeah, no, it works for the story. Like it works for what they like the purpose of them in the story and in the game.
Right.
I don't
because
from a design standpoint.
I think one thing that kind of annoys me about them, other than just the fact that they're not the types of Pokemon that I would generally use, is that they remind me of the Topos from later on. Is that what they're called? The flying guys. Yeah. Or no, maybe not. It might even be the next gen.
No, I think it's Gen 5. Gen 5 is the one where all the Thundurus, Landorus.
Oh, those.
Yeah, I don't like any of that. Like, it reminds me of that stuff, and so I don't like that. I don't like it because of that.
I think they did in this generation. The only thing I would say positive about this, because also Pokemon, I would never use. Just I caught them, but I'm not using them. Right. They were incorporated into the game very, very well as these Lake Trio, and they're like the guardians of like the other fucking trio, which we'll talk about. And I think they were just incorporated into the game very, very well. You kind of once you learn their story, you kind of learn a lot more about the region in general, as opposed to like Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno. Like they're just hiding out in caves, and one's like next to a power plant or something. I don't know. Like one's just chilling. I kind of like that shit. Like when you catch your Zapdos and HeartGold and SoulSilver, it's just like you run up to the power plant and it's just like next to a tree.
Not 4 hours into a thing you have no way to get on the internet and look up where to go.
Right.
Like
we also had the trio of space, time, and antimatter. I guess. I believe space is Palkia, time is Dialga, and Giratina is like antimatter. What are your thoughts on these? I like that they were dragging, and then I found myself never actually using them.
Yeah, they're all cool. I mean, I always liked the designs. I thought Giratina was like completely better than both of them, especially from a form perspective. But yeah, I like the legends. I mean, the main legends in this game.
I always just like this stuff more for its design than anything else, because it's not like that. I'm just never going to use these types of things, even like competitively or playing the game regularly.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely rarely. I mean, I don't run through, like once I catch it, it doesn't go in my party.
Right.
But yeah,
there's a handful of Pokemon that like you'll use competitively, and I think what they've done is they've used a lot more legendaries on sort of enhancing the story, as opposed to actually being like usable Pokemon that you would want to use, because all of these Pokemon in some form or another is part of the story of this like game that's based on like time and the universe and like will and all this other things like that. Like all these are kind of like taking account of like the story, and it's kind of like it's also like the end of an era, right? Like these first 4 generations were all sort of linked together in some way. And then as we head into the 5th generation, like the game comes completely different and it changes, a lot more. So for them to sort of add like there's a Pokemon based on like shadows and dreams and there's the space and time, and then there's Arceus who created everything apparently.
Yeah, the god.
The god of Pokemon, Arceus, who's just like he can be every if you add a plate, he can be every type possible. And
young Arceus, man. Wow.
He's just, it is what it is. I never actually caught Arceus, I'll be honest.
I've never caught. I've had Arceus through like a cheat, but I've never got him like myself. I feel like he was given away though at some point.
He
probably was.
They gave him away recently too. I think another one.
Yeah, I feel like GameStop gave away a shiny one.
Yeah, they did.
Ago.
They definitely did.
During that legendary stuff that was popping off. It was like the 25th anniversary or something.
I actually don't know if can you catch these in this game? Generation 4 Light Temple. Yeah, the Light Temple. No, that's Ranger GS. What the hell is that? I don't know if you can actually catch them in this game, like Arceus. Like, as you shouldn't be able to.
I don't think you can.
No, you can't. You can never catch them. It says throughout every generation, it says event and or trade. So there's no way to. There's no way to actually capture Arceus. We also had other legendaries in this game. We had Fiona and Manaphy. Never used them. Barely got them.
I like Manaphy.
First of all, Manaphy is super broken, and it's also banned.
For what reason?
It has that exclusive move, some water move. It's like exclusive to only him, and it's just completely broken.
Interesting. Manaphy, never used. I like the aspect of like a legendary in an egg. I thought that was different. But other than that, never used. Cresselia, also, if I had to rank the legendaries in this game that I cared about, might be the lowest, to be honest with you. I forgot it existed in Gen
I don't
4
care about
Cresselia.
It looks like a super version of all the other ones.
It is in
the same game.
It looks like an Ultra Beast. It should have just been an Ultra Beast.
Should have been an Ultra Beast. Why not? It's a moon duck or a chicken, or it's a swan. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Darkrai is so much cooler than Cresselia.
Yeah. Darkrai saved everything on this sort of thing. Especially if you ever watch that anime episode where Darkrai is featured in the Pokemon League, which is wild as fuck. You really get to see like, yo, this is a badass Pokemon. I never watched the movies or anything like that because I got tired of the movies after a while. But Darkrai is really, really cool. And oh my god,
fire, dude.
And Bulbapedia, you can see its legs. That's even more scary than anything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's what makes it cool. Damn, that is
okay.
Fire.
So real quick, back to the Manaphy thing. The move is it's tail glow. Stats can be raised to a maximum of +6 stages each, assuming no other stat changes. The first use of tail glow would raise special attack 2.5 times. So like they had to ban it because if you go first and you use it, it's basically it's too good. And then you could baton pass it.
Wow.
So
yes, that is broken. They were on the biggest crack on making that move. Shaman.
Shaman. I love Shaman, dude. Both stages. Like both
the deer is cool, but I love the hedgehog.
The little hedgehog.
I love them both. I love them both. I like what they bring to this game. The land form, the sky
Great
form.
Design.
Great use throughout the thing of like restoring stuff and all this other stuff, especially after all the destruction. Really, really good. One of the main characters gets in the anime in Sun and Moon. It's just like a regular Pokemon for them. Like I was just like, this was all right, cool. Even though it's a mythical Pokemon. But that is all the legendaries. Any sneaky favorites from this gen? You're rolling through this gen, you see anything that catches your eye.
I think we kind of hit on them earlier when we were talking about the evolution.
It's hard, man.
No, sneaky. I'm a fan of Gastrodon. I like Gastrodon.
Gastrodon is amazing. I wish it was going to be good in Pokemon Go too, man, but it's not.
Yeah. Ambipom, I also love. I'm weird.
I don't like Ambipom.
You don't like Ambipom?
I don't like Ambipom either. I don't like
the original. Yeah, I don't like Ambipom either. Like I just don't like the design.
Oh my god. One of my friends used to use it competitively. One of my friends used to use it competitively, and like it would sneakily like whoop my ass sometimes. Like it's because of that ability, technician, and all the other moves that it got. Honchkrow, whew.
Love Honchkrow. Badass.
Yeah, Honchkrow's cool. Honchkrow's fire.
What a badass. Baneri, I love. Baneri's super cute.
Baneri's awesome. Yeah, very cute.
Purugly, I thought was a great design. The Glameow and Purugly kind of those cats. I feel like we never got enough cats in that generation anyway. There's a skunk in this generation.
There is a skunk.
I like the skunk.
Um, Bronzer and Bronzong, I feel like should have been better, and then I think they were like promoted to be better, and then just never got better. They just weren't. Um, Riolu and Lucario are like the mascots of this generation.
Yeah,
The thing that kind of
it's weird. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't love humanoid Pokemon that much. Lucario's popularity is kind of bizarre to me.
Lucario looks like a Digimon. They look like a Digimon to me, but they're cool.
I want to know who designed it. I want to know who designed it because they clearly went into like
they designed it
a very cool Pokemon.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this has to work everywhere. Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, it's Pokemon, almost like they wanted to create a Super Smash Brothers character.
Yeah, like they had to get it right. So,
there are a few things that I love just based on what they were in the anime, and one of them is Drapion, which is the poison dark thing with the like.
But I like Drapion
accordion shit. I didn't like it until the anime. I was like, oh, the anime. Oh, this is pretty tough. Like, it's really whooping ass. Like
it's like Glassopod. It's like I like them in the anime.
Right. Toxicroak, I also like the design of. I like the shiny a lot more than the original one, but Toxicroak. If Bulbapedia wasn't being such an asshole right now, it'd show it to everybody. Rotom,
Rotom Wash.
Are we fans of the different Rotoms?
Wash, kind of.
Rotom Wash was a beast. Like Rotom Wash is still a stable and competitive, so like I feel like people just had to accept it.
Do you want more Rotom? I mean, now it's just Rotom has fully retired as a Pokemon and become this
another mascot.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah. It is another mascot ultimately.
It is fully retired. I don't think it's been available in any games since like it became this all Pokédex sort of. Now it's like a camera. Now it's like actual other things.
Yeah. Because of that, I would say it's best to just keep it how it is. But I wouldn't mind new stuff, but it's already so many different other things. I think in this game it's like a battle camera.
Yeah, it's a battle camera.
Your battles and Sword and Shield. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not,
I'm fine with the retiring. I'm fine with the retiring. Let's see, but that's really all the Pokemon. The Pokemon of this game is spectacular and generous. The other Pokemon that we haven't talked about, we'll get to because it's in definitely the story of this game. And when we get to the champion itself, oh my god, the champion of this region, Sinnoh, the Sinnoh region. Sinnoh region, pretty straightforward. It's not really a hard region, to be honest with you. Not a lot of water. They took out most of the water,
which is good.
So purely land base. But if you love mountains, this is it for you.
Yeah.
There is a giant mountain that splits the east and the west that also leads up to this like icy thing. There are 3 lakes, which are pretty much the centerpieces of all these things for the legendary. Atop the mountain, which is Mount Coronet, which is I don't know if it's the highest mountain in all of the game. Land. Yeah, but it holds Distortion World. If we look at the map, it's pretty cool. Like I like the Sinnoh region, to be honest with you, just because it was pretty straightforward. Like it had a good amount of water, which was not a lot. Mm-hmm. It had a good amount of cities and things that you could just kind of walk to and just like ride your bike around and all this other stuff like that. I like the Sinnoh region. I'm a fan. Let's see. Okay. Let's go. Sinnoh region. Professor Rowan. I'd still say low on the professor scale. Like,
they just haven't been Oak was just too legendary, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just a guy who doesn't have a shirt. Those are like the two guys.
Kukui is the man. The only plus about Sun and Moon is Professor Kukui. But yeah, Professor Rowan, he's like kind of this like crotchety old man kind of deal. If we had to rank the professors, he's like maybe like second to last or the last. Like, it just doesn't get much better. The rivals, the official era of the asshole rivals, officially over. It just is what it is. It's done. Because you have Barry and Dawn, but Barry's hilarious. I like Barry. I don't know if much people. Barry's the one who runs up and he's kind of like on a bean every time. Like he's always like he's super energetic. He's super funny. His dad
the one
is
with all the energy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He runs up to you, blonde hair. He's pretty he's pretty funny. I'll give him that. But yes, the asshole rival is over, which sucks because if you watch the anime, Paul, who is the rival that they've kind of just like it's anime exclusive rival, is probably the best rival that Ash has ever had. Period. Like, and the fact that they didn't include him in this game is kind of sad. But yeah, this game, the sort of Sinnoh is the most straightforward game you're gonna get. It is you encounter some legendaries, you go to some gym battles, you go to the league, you pretty much just walk around the game and the game kind of fills itself out. There's nothing like too much extra to the side that pulls you out. Let's talk about the villains, Team Galactic.
Man, Team Galactic.
Better than any
better than a lot of the other ones, I think, other than maybe even Team Rocket.
Team Rocket, but even still, Team Rocket's like Team Galactic is the villains that like, okay, this could be very, very dangerous if they get in charge because their entire goal was to create a new Pokemon world. So they wanted to erase all humans because there's like, humans are icky.
Y'all are trash, yeah.
Yeah, humans are icky. They cause too much stress and things in this world. We need to erase all of them and start a new world. And the only way to do that is to control space and time, which comes with capturing Dialga and Palkia.
No, their mission was fire.
Yeah, the only way to capture Dialga and Palkia was to use the Lake Trio with the red, jewels on their forehead to capture that. So they had to capture those. So every time you encountered them, they were capturing one of the Lake Trios, and they were just successful in doing it. Like you beat all of them, but you weren't successful in actually stopping them.
Right.
So
their logo's hard too, man. The G is fire, man.
It eventually leads up to this intense sort of thing where you climb Mount Coronet.
Mount Coronet sounds like a damn college.
It does.
You climb Mount Coronet. You face Saturn, Lieutenant Saturn. I don't know if it's Lieutenant. I don't know what they're just generals. You face Saturn, Jupiter, Mars.
The distorted world is insane the first time you see it.
The distorted world in Platinum is completely what makes Platinum. Like
absolutely.
It because previously in the game you go up against Palkia and Dialga. And they had this cool little scene where you actually like you see the sky above the region, and it's the one time they did like this 3D rendering.
Yes.
Of the sky and the purple and pink and black lights just kind of like flowing and all this other stuff. I was like, damn, this was type cool. Like we getting some deep shit over here.
Yeah, it was wild. Like an actual regional event.
Yeah, that's actually going down, and then they will do it again in Gen 5, as we'll probably get to next time. But I remember that, and that summoned Palkia and Dialga, and you just faced whichever one was on the front of your game. With Platinum, another crazy introduction, because I like if you've seen Giratina appear, it's like splatter of black on your screen.
They did so well with that, dude.
And then it just
give it its own purpose.
It just popped out. Like it was just very, very scary. And when you get into the distortion world, it's the same. Like you're walking to the distortion world, and as you're getting closer to Cyrus and as you're getting closer to Giratina, it would like fly over your head, and you're like, "Whoa, holy shit!"
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, they did such a good job with this game.
Yeah, and it kind of laid the curses for like what they wanted to do as they got bigger in this game with like Pokemon Black and White and all these other things, because it was really the cutscene for all these things were just very, very cool. And the fact that you had to essentially climb the mountain to be able to do it is also very cool. Let's get to gyms and Elite Four. Do you guys remember the gyms from this era? Do you want to play the game?
I don't, but I wouldn't mind playing the game.
let's play the game. Let's play the game that we've made into just a staple of this entire thing. If Bulbapedia wants to act right,
Yeah, at least we know you can't really cheat.
The gym leaders of this generation. I remember the gym leaders because I love this gen. I've watched the anime. I've done all the homework that I've done for this entire thing. The first gym in this game. Let's figure out what type he is. Oh, damn. Bulbapedia really doesn't want to load up.
I keep getting that forbidden.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Same thing.
Okay. Yeah. That's okay. We'll have to use Google or whatever. Gym leaders in Platinum. Okay. All right, sure. So the first one is Rourke.
No, I remember the first gym.
It's in Orberg City.
Yeah, it was. He had a Cranidos.
City's a giveaway.
Yeah, he had a Cranidos.
He did have a Cranidos. He was a complete rock type.
Yeah. Didn't he give you Stealth Rock?
No, I think he gave. What did he give? I don't know if they give Stealth. Like, did they give Enter Instinct? First of all, Stealth Rock, and that came out in Gen 4, right?
Yes.
What a game changer! What entry hazards?
He gave Stank Rock, Stealth Rock. But.
Entry hazards in general, I feel like were just more prevalent in Gen 4 than anything. But spikes, poison spikes, Stealth Rock,
toxic spikes,
all these other things, just the assholiest of moves, and you only could get them away with Rapid Spin, which was like, why would I put that on any of my Pokemon? And
that was the issue. You just had to deal with it. Most people just dealt with it.
Entry hazards. Rourke, he does not give that. I think he gives like something else. God. Yeah, this is Bulbapedia is just down. Rourke was definitely the rock type. Next one, Eterna City. We have Gardania. This is just easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's got to be grass. Oh yes. No, she had a Tortwig. Didn't she?
She had a Turtwig.
That was so weird.
I mean, why can't gym leaders have actual starter Pokemon?
I know it's strange. It's something.
It's cool. I kind of like the mythology of it.
Just didn't see it a lot.
Here's where things get different, and we just won't be able to think. Fantina, one of probably the most forgettable gym leader of this entire thing.
I don't know.
Fantina, Hearthome City.
What does she have?
She has a Duskull, a Haunter.
She's Ghost.
And the Miss Magius.
Magius.
Veilstone City, a little bit better. Maylene.
She has Lucario.
She has Lucario.
Yeah, she has Lucario.
She was cool. I dig her. Pastoria City, Crasher Wake.
I hazard to guess he had a surf gimmick.
Yes, of course.
He had Floatzel.
He had Floatzel. Yes, he had Floatzel.
And I think like some other, was it Lapras? Maybe a Gyarados?
No. He had Gyarados. He had a Gyarados, Quagsire, and a Floatzel, which isn't a bad team.
Yeah, he's got pretty solid.
It's not a bad team except for Floatzel.
Floatzel not great, but that was his last Pokemon, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. I mean,
Floatzel looks cool though. I like Floatzel.
Yeah, Floatzel. It reminded me of Sonic or Tails from Sonic.
Yeah.
Canaclay City. The gym leader, Byron.
Byron was a steel type.
He was definitely a steel type.
I don't remember these guys at all.
I don't remember his last Pokemon though. I know he had like a Magnemite or Magneton.
Yeah, Bastiodon.
Oh yeah, that thing's trash. It should have been like, it's one of the Pokemon you look at, you're like, you should be dope and OP, but you're not.
Oh my god, gym number 7 is at Snow Point City. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, this is one of my most remembered gyms ever, I would say.
She had an Abomasnow and a Frostlass.
Yeah, she did, and it's probably the most memorable.
Difficult to get through.
It took a while to get to, right? And
it took a while.
Really hard.
And in the trek to it, it was just hail. So your Pokemon's getting damage anyway as you're going through regular
I'm gonna go buy Platinum again. It's like $50.
My god.
Yeah, go buy Platinum. I might play it again myself.
It's
Shit.
$50 at GameStop.
If I still have if my DS is anywhere. And the last gym, Sunny Shore City. His name is Volkner.
Volkner. I do not know.
Yeah, use it. Use it.
I don't know.
He was electric. He was electric.
He's electric. He's
Oh,
electric.
oh, okay, yeah.
He had Electabuzz, Evolution, and like
Electivire. Yep. He had all those. So Gym. Those are the gyms in this entire generation. We also had the Elite Four, which had Aaron, Bug type, which is crazy to think that a Bug type owner was in the Elite Four.
Yeah, they had to give him some good shit, I think.
What was his last thing? What was his last Pokemon?
It's weird because his last Pokemon, not a Bug type. No.
What was it?
Volcarona is Gen 5. His last Pokemon, not a Bug type.
Oh, jeez.
So Pat had to leave, unfortunately, due to this entire thing, just for us going very, very long. But we can continue talking about this Elite Four, Bug type, Yanmega, Scizor, Vespiquen. Vespiquen's cool.
Man,
Vespiquen.
I have such issues with that fucking Pokemon in Go because all I see is boys, and I have one girl who's trash.
The thing about Vespiquen is it evolves from Combee, but it only evolves from a female Combee, which is really about 10%. Yeah, there's only a 10% chance of getting a female Combee. When you do get it, though, you jump for joy and it's excitement. Yeah, but I still have not gotten a good one that I want to evolve.
I'm about to say, I have like 200 candies, and like every time I get one, it's a boy. I have one girl, and it's a 1-star, and I'm,
I agree. But that lineup is still pretty cool. In terms of the rest of the Elite Four, we had Bertha. Bertha was a ground type one. Bertha had Whiscash, Gliscor, Golem, Rhyperior, and Hippowdon.
That sounds annoying.
Yeah, you know what? I think Gen 4 really rounded out these Elite Four people.
Yeah, that sounds annoying as hell.
Because other than that, I mean, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 1, like, I think they had really shitty Elite Four Pokemon.
You're right.
And like Gen 4 kind of gives them like these ultimate teams of like you have a lot of third forms, you have a lot of second forms, you have a lot of final forms that kind of like really fleshed out this entire ordeal. Number 3 was Flint. Flint was Volkner's best friend.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy with the red afro with hands in his pockets. His team, not as fun. It had Houndoom, Flareon, Rapidash, Infernape, and Magmortar. I think
you could just surf through that right there, and he's cooked.
Yeah, easily. I think it's really because this game, and still to this day, hasn't really been kind to fire types. Like, you can go a very long time, I think, in the first, second, and maybe even the third game without encountering a fire types if you don't have it as your starter.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a particularly like known type, and none of them are truly good because they'll have like high special attack, but will be
they can get ran
an
over.
Attacker.
Right.
Yeah, will be an attacker. None. If they have high defense, then it kind of like rules out their attacking purposes.
Yeah, it's like, what are your fire type for?
Right. So it's like, I don't think if there's the best fire type in the game that you've come across, what do you think it is?
Game entirely?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Jeez.
I mean, I guess it'd be one of the Mega Charizards.
Yeah,
I prefer X, but yeah, it's gonna be one of the. I mean, Mega Charizard.
Also, Mega Blaziken is also very.
yeah, you're right.
Because
but the Mega. I hate to even use I hate to use the Mega to answer this question, but like it's true though. Like you said, the fire types is like, well, if you're a defensive fire type, there's not a lot of purpose for you.
Right, 100%. Elite Four, number 4 was Lucian. He was a Psychic type owner. Not a fan of Psychic type Elite Four people in this game, but he had Mr. Mime, Espeon, Bronzong, Alakazam, as they all do, and eventually he finaled it up with Gallade.
Which Gallade, underwhelming. Whatever.
So, I mean, if you're looking at the moves, let's see. I'm trying to think the moves, but Bulbapedia is really being the shits today. Like the shits and the drip. Lucian, damn, and it just linked me to regular Wikipedia. Okay, well, whatever.
I really enjoyed like going back. Like one of the reasons why I love this game is like after you get the National Pokedex and you go back. It's like there's so much difficult. Like the Pokemon League is fucking hard. Like Elite Four, it's hard after the
It
Pokemon.
really is. It really is. Okay, so I pulled up Lucian's stuff in Pokemon Platinum. Lucian's Mr. Mime had Psychic, Thunderbolt, Reflect, and Light Screen. So I'm assuming he's running Light Screen and Reflect off rip
Easily.
and just fucking you up.
Yeah.
Then you get to Espeon. It has Shadow Ball. It has Signal Beam. It is ready for any Dark type that you have, and it's just like whatever. Bronzong has Gyro Ball. And because it's so slow,
it hurts.
it's going to hurt. Nonetheless, it also has Calm Mind. So if it gets that Reflect and Light Screen along with the Calm Mind,
I gotta buy this game.
it also has Earthquake, just to make sure you ain't playing no games.
God, Earthquake?
Yeah. Alakazam had Psychic, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, and Recover. And Gallade had Drain Punch, Psycho Cut, Leaf Blade, and Stone Edge. So
wasn't Psycho Cut its move? Wasn't it?
That's its move.
Before Mewtwo got it?
Yeah, that's before. Yes, Mewtwo.
It's Mewtwo's now, but yeah.
For Mewtwo jack that shit, yes. But we cannot talk about this gen without talking about the most popular champion of all time.
I love Cynthia, dude.
That is Queen Cynthia. Cynthia is the greatest. Cynthia is the best. Cynthia whoops Lance's ass on everything.
Her team is hard, dude.
Her team is
hard.
So this is kind of what we want out of the game, right? Like if Pat was here, he would like. I'm pretty sure he would go for Cynthia because this is what we wanted out of the game.
So it was so different. Like she had Togekiss.
She wasn't saddled by a type.
No, bro. She could go any way. She could start any way she wanted to. Like, first of all, you had to deal with like a fucking Spiritomb.
Spiritomb, which is no particular weakness because it's Ghost and Dark.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to use kind of like brute force or brute strength to really get it out.
Something that you have in your party that's like ridiculous that will handle it.
It had pressure. Ability was pressure, which means if you're using a move, you're losing 2 of the PPs of the move as opposed to 1. So you just having to try to beat this, and I'm sure it's like full restores and all this other shit like
whatever.
That.
But yeah, I know what you're saying.
So you just trying to beat the Spiritomb is a mission upon itself. But really, I think she had really good offensive ones and like really good defensive Pokemon, because Spiritomb is, I think it would be classified more as a defensive just based on the typing.
A little bit of it, yeah. It just off the typing alone, not really its stats. It was just difficult to get around to beat it.
Right. And then she had Togekiss.
Which is a tank.
Togekiss is a tank and a half. With the ability Hustle.
Yeah.
Which is, God, what is it? Fuck. Bulbapedia. Why do you fail me today?
Don't you dare flinch.
Right, 100%. And the Togekiss had Air Slash, Aura Sphere, Water Pulse, Shockwave,
and the Water Pulse can't confuse you. It's like it's just ridiculous, man.
And Aura Sphere will end your shit. It just will.
Didn't she have a Rose Raid too?
She had a Roserade with Toxic. So like that's just annoying.
Best grass type in the game at this point.
Yeah, and Energy Ball, still one of the better grass types, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Energy Ball, Sludge Bomb, Toxic, and Extra Sensory. She had Lucario with Aura Sphere, Extreme Speed. Extreme Speed is a troll all the time. Dude. You'll be toward the end of your thing, and you'll just be knocked out by Extreme Speed.
It's also had quick attack on crack.
Yes, and it had Shadow Ball, and Stone Edge. So this thing is just ready to whoop ass.
What a trainer she was.
Milotic. After all that, you gotta
is maybe like it's so tanky.
It's the most it's like one of the most defensive water types ever.
Yeah.
And
was Aura Ring out yet?
I don't think so.
Can't remember.
But I don't think so. But even if you use a Thunderbolt on it, it's not dying. It's just not.
No, it's eating a lot of your super effective move. It'll still say super effective, but it's only going to do like 25%.
Yeah, because it's not really eating. It's not really dying unless you're like super high level than it. It's not getting one-shotted. You can't one-shot this Pokemon. And then she had Garchomp. Garchomp, I think, is incredible. Fortunately enough, if you ice beam it, it's dead. It's gone. It's erased.
But it's still a cool Pokemon.
But Cynthia is just a beast. She's still probably the most revered champion in all of these games. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's
right. They got it right.
Yeah, I don't think there's a champion still that that lives up to Cynthia, and they've done several champions since then, and they've done Bruno, which we'll talk about next gen, but I don't like. Not Bruno. What's his name? Bruno? No, it was.
No, you're talking about wait, the champion of Gen 5?
Of the 5th gen with the Bouffalon.
This is gonna bother me.
It was again, not really. Alder. There we go.
Alder. Okay.
His name was Alder. Then we got Diantha, which was like, let's kind of get Cynthia's, like, because she was a girl. Diantha.
Name again now.
Yeah, I agree. Iris was also a co-champion in Gen 5, which we'll talk about next. But we have a new champion in the Galar League. His name is Leon. He has a cape. He wears shorts. I'm interested in seeing where they go with Leon.
Yeah, we're gonna see, man.
But that is sort of, the sort of story of the game. As we talk about the features of this game, they had Wi-Fi, allowing players to trade, battle, and communicate. Even you had voice chats, which has been removed since then, thank God, because it's kind of like scary.
Shit. Yeah, you don't need that.
GTS, nice. Put up a Pokemon to be traded. Listen.
Yeah, that's big time, man. That, to me, that's one of the biggest things about this game, dude.
I agree. You just put a Pokemon, it's just like, someone wants it and you get it, and bada bing, bada boom. The new HMD fog, not cool.
No.
Not
at all. Why did they do that? How dare you even like the fact that, because they, at that point, they had to know how annoyed we were.
Right. So
they just added defog.
You didn't need to use it, but your accuracy for all your moves were toned down incredibly if you didn't use it. So
you might as well use it with some bullshit Pokemon you got on you.
Probably the most relevant part of this is the physical moves and special moves split. We saw a couple generations back, they eventually, took away, they took away special, and then they split it into special attack and special defense. But now you have physical moves and special moves. Physical moves are more catered towards the attack stat, and special moves are more catered towards your special attack stat. And instead of them all being, which is weird that they are all actually one thing, now that I think about it.
No, it was truly bizarre. It's like Hyper Beam. It's like Hyper Beam and Flash. Like, they're two different things, but
yeah. So it's a physical moves now and special moves. It kind of changed the game, and it changed the meta a little bit.
It changes the meta a lot, dude. A lot.
As we're taking, this podcast has been going on forever, but we still have HeartGold and SoulSilver to talk about, which is crazy. Let's talk a little bit about the game. We don't have to get too much, deep dive into it.
To me, okay, so HeartGold SoulSilver is the greatest Pokemon game of all time.
Easily. Just 100%.
It's a lot of fan service. It's guys we can give you at this point.
Yes.
That you've wanted. So every Pokemon can follow behind you, which was like, it's the little things, man.
it took a little bit of the plots, and especially from Platinum and stuff like that, like the incorporation of Looker, which is like, now it's kind of like, okay, you got Team Rocket doing their thing. Now you have Looker, who's an actual investigator who's alongside with you for this entire thing as well.
Going back generation, it's the little things, man. It's the stuff that you would assume would be in every game, and they just put it in this one. And it just made it very sweet. We haven't seen that as far as having your Pokemon walk behind you, like they did it in Pokemon Let's Go. But that platform is so huge, so you expect that. You're like, okay, well, of course it can happen on here, but to get it on your handheld at this point, it was really awesome. Everybody always wanted it since Pokemon Yellow, anyways. Going back to Kanto, it's just. That game was really awesome.
You had all 493 Pokemon that you can catch in this game.
493.
Oh my god. I'm trying to look at all the differences from this game. Let's see. Legendary Pokemons from other regions can be caught in this game. You can get Kyogre and Groudon. You can get Rayquaza. You can get Latias and Latios. You can get the legendary birds. You can get Mewtwo still. So it is fire. What else?
It's fire, dude.
It is Ucene, which is in Pokemon Crystal, is now in these main games.
Yep.
The Pokewalker.
The Pokewalker. The
Did you have that?
Yeah, of course. That was me and my best friend Scott. We had got up. We had just moved out. Him and I were roommates, and we got up to go get this thing. And the Pokewalker it's just a fun thing, you know. It's like I was a huge fan of the Digivices, right?
Yes.
So, I really like the I looked on eBay not too long ago just to see like if I could find one for cheap, and I can't. But they're really awesome, and so I felt like, damn, you know, Pokemon probably should have incorporated this a while ago, like a physical thing to have with you when you're not playing, because it just keeps the game going for you.
I agree. Yeah, it is, and it's an extra sort of real world aspect that even back then they've been trying to incorporate, and they've done it actually now.
They're still trying to do it with the Plus, the Pokemon Go Plus, and you can put a Pokemon Go Plus and walk around.
Right.
You know.
Let's see what else was different. Running shoes, big game changer. You don't got to walk around the game no more.
You don't got to walk no more. You can just sprint the whole time everywhere, and not ride a bike inside anywhere. Ran into a lot of walls though.
The starter Pokemon from Kanto and Hoenn can be collected from Professor Oak and Steven Stone, respectively, as appreciation for defeating Red.
So cool. So cool.
Let's see. I'm trying to see breeding against always, of course. Let's see. Similar to the Beast, the Poke Gear. We didn't talk about the Poketch in the game, which is like your bottom screen. Jazz.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I know. I just can't talk about it because it's just a part of it. I'm not like, I get they want to split the profile up, and so it looks cleaner. So I was okay with it, you know. But I don't know, man. Catching Pokemon, I feel like how much more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't. I'm assuming for Sword and Shield they're going to go back to the whole, you know, just press the damn button and throw it. Now, I don't know if they'll at least say, hey, you can do it the way you did it in Let's Go if you want. I don't know, but the Let's Go throwing thing, Pokemon Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu is a catch this Pokemon game. So it makes sense. You know, you can double throw. You can have your friends throw with you to get a better catch success. It's a very catch these Pokemon over and over and over again so that you can find shinies. Ultimately, that's really all it is.
Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver, just with the engine of Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, with all the Pokemon in your reach, with all the things that were updated and changed from this game, from the graphics to the abilities to the moves to everything like that. It is legitimately the best Pokemon game of all time. It is a remake they've done right. It is a remake that they've done well. It is continued to be. You can play it right now, and it's still good. Like
I'm getting chills thinking about this, but like they could re-release this game. Like I meant like if they wanted to remaster it and just put it out on Switch, they could do that. Like, and I wouldn't even. I'm not saying like, hey, make it a big deal. I'm just saying remaster the game, make it exactly how it was, you know, on DS, but put it on the Switch. Like, I would lose my mind. Is there another game that has this many Pokemon that's catchable? By chance, I feel like.
I think maybe Black and White 2. I feel like maybe Black and White 2, but HeartGold and SoulSilver just has so much to offer. God, yeah, it just has so much to offer. Like it's just so much that you can do. And Black and White 2, don't get me wrong, it's another remake that's like fantastic. Like
Black and White 2 Pokédex has. Well, we need to be looking at the national. It's so hard to find this information.
Yeah, it really, really is. Especially like as we're like looking at it right now, we're like
Yeah,
typing away.
how many can
Really,
I
really
actually get?
but there's so much stuff there. I'm gonna assume this game. I'm gonna assume maybe HeartGold and SoulSilver has the most Pokemon
Regardless,
that
it's a crazy amount. And Black and White 2 is a spectacular game as well. Don't get me wrong. But Soul Silver Heart Gold was it. It was everything you wanted.
do you feel like okay, here's the ultimate question. I wish Pat was here, but here's the ultimate question. Would you rather a remake of Heart Gold and Soul Silver,
Mm-hmm.
but you know that they're going to use the Let's Go sort of thing, or would you rather a remake of Diamond and Pearl?
Well,
If they use the Let's Go thing, it kind of takes you out of the spirit, isn't it?
a little bit because because these games. We talked about how these games are not fairly difficult. So to me, putting it in a Let's Go format, which don't get me wrong, bro. Honestly, I think Let's Go is a thing. Like, I think we're going to get more of it. I think that's the way that they're going to remaster these old games. So I think you're on to something.
Because it's different than the original top. It's not just remaking the same game over and over. It's adding a new mechanic to it that makes it completely different, makes it original, and makes you want to get it because it's much different.
It's clean. They clean it up. They make it fresh. They make it look great. And it's probably not difficult for them to do, I'm going to assume, once they have a specific type of scale. I would prefer, from a sales standpoint, the Heart Gold Soul Silver Let's Go would be, they would blow that shit out of the water. But Diamond and Pearl, Platinum remake, I'm all in for. I also would just one day, I don't know when, and I know this kind of defeats the purpose of Pokemon, but I would like one day for there to be some worldwide Pokemon game where you could just travel around this globe that they've been making for the past 30 whatever year, 25 years, where you can just go place to place and work through a whole lifestyle of Pokemon. I know there was like Pokemon Rainbow rumors and shit like that before, like X and Y and stuff. Like, what were they going to do next type thing? But I'm hoping one day we'll get that. I don't know how close we are, but I would say a Pokemon Let's Go, Silver and Gold would be fire. It would sell like crazy. I think that it would probably sell more than Diamond and Pearl, but I would prefer a Diamond Pearl Platinum remake.
I think I'm ready for a Diamond and Pearl Platinum remake. To be honest with you, ever since they've been doing the remakes, and the last time we got Diamond, Heart Gold and Soul Silver drops 2009, 2010. We don't get the next series of remakes until 2014. So that's about 5 years.
Right.
Because they've been like kind of staggering in it now. I'm ready for a Platinum remake. I'm ready for a new remake of Platinum. If it goes Heart Gold Soul Silver, I'm fine with that too. But I think you need the base of Platinum, the Diamond and Pearl thing, before you can actually do that. Just based on how these games roll out. Like the Diamond and Pearl came before Heart Gold Soul Silver. Not that one is needed over the other, but but I really,
no, you're right.
But I really want Diamond and Pearl, that remake. I really do want it. And I think other people want it too. But that is our review.
Isn't that the issue? I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, with Pokemon, we ask a lot. We ask for a lot from them just because they've done so many great things prior to what's new. Right. So people are like, hey, give us this. But then when they give us that, we're like, okay, where's the new generation? And then they get a new generation and we're like, oh, well.
Or they give me the remake to Pokemon Yellow that I've always wanted, but then they make it Let's Go. So
yeah, exactly. And like I said, I do think that Pokemon Let's Go is a thing. Like, I think they're going to continue to do that. That's how they're going to pump out, their old games to refresh them for the Switch. Let's Go was not. It was fun for, like, if you're just wanting to play Pokemon, but it is not a difficult game. If you like to shiny hunt and catch the same Pokemon over and over again, like catch 30 Pidgeys, you'll start a chain, and then from there you can just start shiny hunting. That's kind of how it works, but depends what you're into, man. And my Pokemon Go helped me fill my Pokedex. So I did use Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go to like finish my game properly. But,
And there are 100% all 4 gens in Pokemon Go, which would be able to be transferred.
And that is exactly why I said they're gonna keep doing. Like you were on to something when you said that. I think SoulSilver or I think Silver Gold will come in that format. But just don't expect it to be competitive. That's all.
Yeah, maybe. But that has been the Gen 4 episode of Mount Silver, episode 5 entirely. We are here. Pat had to leave early, but I'm sure he's still
here in spirit.
He's still here in spirit. We have an episode of The Lookout with myself and Jeff that has emerged earlier this week, so you can make sure to check that out where we cover the first episode of Pokemon with Pat. So if you want to get your Pat fill for the week, there it is. We also have So Help Me God, the podcast also featuring Pat and J5, Justin Davis, on the Righteous Gemstones, which came out actually earlier this week on Monday. I believe we have a new RAOP gaming that is dropping this week as well.
RFPN will be back very soon. Special guest on the first episode as well. We'll get into that soon.
Listen, RSPN is returning.
Yeah.
As one season ends, as one moon sets, the one sun, rises. We have the 8th show, episode 99, which will drop tomorrow, so make sure you tune into that. We have the call up, which will drop on Friday. Once again, we have late fees that dropped last week. We have so many different other things. We're working on playlists. We're working on all of the other stuff. I mean, Jeff's got a playlist in the tank. What are we doing?
Yeah, man, Blush 4 will be out soon. I collaborated with Jamal on this one too, so it's really nice. It'll be out very soon.
So make sure you tune into all of that on RNC Radio Live. You can follow RNC Radio Live on Twitter to make sure you stay in the conversation. You can also follow RNC Radio on Instagram as well to see all our latest updates. And just follow us on Twitter in general. I'm at Meals TV. Jeff is at Old Newsboy. And you can follow Pat at Pafifi on Twitter. And make sure you just stay tuned to everything that we're talking about on this podcast. If there's anything you liked about Gen 4, please let us know and please hit us up. If there is anything you feel like we didn't talk about or you'd like us to expound on more as we head into Gen 5. The next episode will be Gen 5.
That's crazy.
Which will be, I feel like you might get another one before the end of the month, but it'll definitely be like late September, early October.
Yeah.
Because these games are getting closer and closer and closer, and we still have about 5, 6, 7.
I want to figure out a way to talk about Sword and Shield while we're playing it, so we'll talk about that.
We will definitely figure that out as well. Maybe we'll do a live or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we could definitely do some battles and record them and put them on YouTube and stuff like that. So
that is true as well. So let's definitely do that. Let's figure some stuff out. If you continue to like this podcast, please like, share, subscribe, and please tell all your friends about the Mount Silver podcast. It's very, very cool. It's very, very, fun talking about all these old games and reminiscing. But we'll